here. This is a kingdom ruled by a Sunni minority, and they have been pushing for democratic change. The focus of the uprising, if you want to call it that, has been Pearl Roundabout. So it is about several hundred meters in front of me now. I'm looking at it, and things seem quiet there at the moment. But what we saw earlier was the military moving in a day after a state of emergency was declared. Tanks rolled in just at first light. Protesters had been there, and they had set up barricades to try to block the way of the military. But tanks moved in. There were helicopters hovering overhead, and certainly a lot of tear gas being used. But from what I can see now, the Pearl Square has been cleared. I have to tell you that the roads are absolutely deserted. The military is in full control, and it is almost impossible to travel anywhere. But we've certainly heard a lot of activity of helicopters. We are also getting reports of violence in other areas of the kingdom, and one eyewitness has contacted me saying that early this morning, a young man in the neighbourhood where he was running down the road with sticks was fired at by automatic weapons. Very difficult, though, for us to give you a clear picture of casualties just because we can't move from the hotel where we're at.
And the Bahraini king and his ministers making the point that they have offered talks with the protesters, but that is not an offer that has been taken up.
That's right. The authorities offered a national dialogue. The opposition is divided, but they did have a clear line, and they had certain conditions before they wanted to talk, and they said that they wanted to be sure that the government, the authorities were acting in good faith. They wanted commitment that there will be an elected council that will actually carry forward any dialogue. We've also heard people calling for the removal of the Prime Minister who's been in power for 40 years. So the opposition certainly did have conditions, but the opposition are furious by the developments we've seen here over the last couple of days. First, the arrival of Saudi troops and police from the UAE, then this declaration of a state of emergency yesterday.